Hello, friends. I'm Cassandra Joan Butler, Agent 56 with the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, and we are having Cosmic Connections now, a chance on a weekly basis to take a look at the astrology of the week, and we do some spiritual messages as well. And we're going to be talking about tonight the first quarter square in Scorpio, where that may be activating your chart and what it might mean. And I'm going to be zeroing in on a very special news story that occurred today, at least in the United States, which of course is an international story. It's even an intergalactic story. It affects us all. So please come on and get situated, relax, and we'll be talking some astrology and some intuition and psychic stuff as well. But first, a couple of announcements. I'm a very happy contributor to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. It's a worldwide endeavor to share the wisdom of astrology. And, as the cosmos has incredible events, Cosmic Intelligence Agency comes up to the challenge and presents incredible webinars. And there's one coming up on August 6th, which you don't want to miss. It is the magic and mystery of Venus Star Point. Ariel Gutman, Brett Joseph, Julia Simmons, Adam Gangsberg are all going to be working with you for 6 hours of amazing content plus a journey meditation. So please, I have the link at the beginning of our little webinar. I'm going to do it again for you. So please consider this. This is going to be awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you may ask, well, what is Venus Star Point? I remember when I was first studying it, I was a little bit overwhelmed with the material. And actually, Julia, the mother of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, was my first teacher. I saw her at an ESAR conference in California discuss the Venus Star Point. I was just blown away with her knowledge and her warmth and compassion and the way she presented. Everything in astrology has a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of a learning curve, but she explains it from the heart. And so you really want to understand that. Of course, Ariel Gutman is known for her books on the Venus Star Point. So that's my announcement for tonight. Please check it out. Check out my website, Cassandra Joan Butler. And a couple of really great things of note. We're going to Alaska, friends. Have you ever wanted to go to Alaska on an astrology cruise, complete with healing and Reiki and psychic intuition and mediumship? Well, look no further. Does that sound like a good ad? For May of 2024. And yes, we are doing bookings now. It's on my website, all the details. It's a healing cruise, mind, body, and spirit healing cruise. And we're going to Alaska, see those northern lights. And so I'll be telling you more about that. I mean, May sounds a long way off, doesn't it? But it really isn't. And then, of course, I do my weekly offerings tomorrow night, Thursday night. I'm going to be doing the Venus Chiron retrograde, a little bit about the Venus Star Point. But one of the characteristics of my classes, my Zoom classes, is I always do everyone's charts. Sometimes we go a little longer than just 2 hours, but I try to keep it to that time frame. I take a look at your charts and we analyze your charts with whatever's happening in the sky. So we're talking about the retrogrades tonight. We're going to talk about the quarter cycle in Scorpio, and we're going to match that with the big news story of the day. The big news story of the day, in my mind at least, is the disclosure congressional subcommittee hearings in Washington, D.C., whereby it was bipartisan and whistleblowers were on the stage, on the set, and they were being grilled by the Congress about UFOs or UAPs. So pretty amazing stuff that was going on. Did anyone watch it? I did in the morning. And it's always been an interest of mine. Well, what do you expect? I've got, Uranus squaring my sun, and I have Chiron in Aquarius. So if it's weird and an off planet, I'm interested. I don't know about all of you. So, hi, Jan. Yes, I want to make mention of that. The crazy storms are in Western New York, just as we are starting our little webinar tonight. Thank you for sharing, Christine. Hi, Trina. Hello. You read about it, John. Yeah, it's check out any of the reports. I know The Guardian has a nice article about it as well. Dawn and Rhonda and Kathy, welcome, welcome, my dear friends. Hi, Donna and Eileen and John. Good to be back too. Rebecca, Maria, Leslie, big hugs to you all. I would love to say hi to you all, but as people are entering the room, welcome. So about the congressional meetings today, I've always had an active interest in things that are unusual, including astrology, right? But even as a kid, a 10-year-old kid, over our fields where we grew up in rural Elma, New York, we had seen I guess it was a craft. It was a light that could not be explained that was darting back and forth in a diamond shape. And the state troopers came out to our home and they were like, well, we have no explanation either. That was just one of many sightings back in the 60s. But what's absolutely riveting is that we now have government officials being pushed to do as much disclosure as possible. I know those of you who are very deep into this subject realize that disclosure has been the rallying cry, at least for the past 20 years, since 2000, when Dr. Stephen Greer had the first disclosure conference in Washington, D.C. So there's a lot of layers about the UFO investigation field. But the thing that caught my ears and my eyes this morning from David Grush. Now, David Grush, I'm going to quote him here. He was a high, he was a very high, he had high clearance in the government and very much former high-ranking intelligence official. And he was retired and he was coming out with a lot of this information with his colleagues. And then reprisal started. So he garnered the topic of being a whistleblower to protect himself. He's a youngish gentleman. But one of the questions that were asked during the conference today, do you know of anyone who is injured by non-human beings? He said, yes. Do you know the location of where craft are being kept by the U.S. government? He said, well, I would like to say that, but I need a SCIF, which is a secure place to do this answering, because there's a public arena today. So one of the things that also the takeaway was, he said that there's been a retrieval program under the U.S. government whereby plenty of senior high-level officers were basing their documents and proof of having obtained these craft and doing reverse engineering. Of course, this has come out like 25 years ago by a couple of authors who were high-ranking military people, but people weren't taking it seriously. So we're going to talk about the astrology of why now. Why is there more a speck of disclosure coming on? And those of you who are active astrologers probably know the answer. And then we're even going to zero in why today. And hopefully some of my PowerPoints will help you understand. So we live in an amazing universe, and the astrology does indeed reflect that. So this was a historic day, having congressional hearings for all to see. I know if you just Google this, you can have a recording. There's stuff on YouTube as well, and so forth. Okay, so these were the gentlemen in Congress. This is David Grush, and these are two pilots who are reporting their testimony. This is from the Dr. Stephen Greer's UFO disclosure press conference that I attended in Washington the day after Pluto went back into Capricorn. So I took a little journey to Washington to be in the room, in the press, to ask him questions. And these are, of course, drawings of alleged planetary beings. And so again, the Congressman Burchett said, Mr. Grush, do you have personal knowledge of people who've been harmed or hurt or murdered in an effort to conceal ET technology? He said, yes, Personally, I have directed people with that knowledge to the authorities. So this is really pretty wild stuff. So the astrology, please. Why today? Um, Again, this happened this afternoon, this morning, actually late morning, and this is the news article that was published at 2:10 p.m. First of all, in the U.S. chart, United States of America, like all of our charts, have a Chiron somewhere. Chiron in the U.S. chart is at 20 degrees of Aries. We're having our Chiron return within 1 degree. Chiron is next to the Chiron, the US's chart. Where? In the fourth house. Was the fourth house? Home and security. So you could make a whole laundry list of delineations of what that might mean, but at the very least, it means that our vulnerabilities as a country, our sensitivities, our wound, as it were, is being exposed. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, they're shrugging their shoulders. Of course there's ETs. Of course there's alien beings. And they walk amongst us. But the real story is that the U.S. government is being disclosed as having manipulated this and keeping it shadowly away from the taxpayer American public. That's one of the another story is the part of this. So when we talk about shadow and we talk about things that are nefarious and secretive and difficult, what comes to mind? Of course, good old Lilith. Black moon Lilith up in the sky is connecting with black moon Lilith in the chart of the U.S. You can see it right here. Very interesting. And of course, we're having the ongoing Pluto return in the US's chart. And that's been going on for the past year. It's going to be going on next year as well. Pluto, the great transformative energy, the power, manipulation, and control planet, is in the house of the US's values and money, by the way. We also have Venus conjunct Mercury. Now, we know that Venus just went retrograde this past weekend, but a retrograde Venus, that which matters, connecting with the mind and communication, is alive and well today. And all of this, friends, is happening, and I would pose this question to your own personal life in just a moment. The sun, of course, is in Leo, creating the first quarter square to the moon in Scorpio. A square is action, right? So as we are moving through this week, we're taking action wherever that 2 degrees of Scorpio falls. And, Leo sun is about light. Scorpio moon is about darkness and that which is hidden and that which is secretive. And by the way, the moon in the sky today in Scorpio is conjunct Psyche, that which is a little unusual, and it's opposite Jupiter exactly at 13 degrees during the congressional hearings. And Jupiter means truth. The old adage, the truth is out there somewhere. So this has all been going on today. And there's going to be repercussions, I am sure, more hearings, I hope. And the other thing is so interesting. The U.S.'s destiny mark, North Node, is in Leo in the 8th house, which, of course, is another scorpionic theme. So let's talk about, for all of us, here's the question of the week. Are you feeling that you want to get some disclosure in your own life? Are you really wanting to get the truth out about something about yourself, some authentic truth? Are you tired of some issue or some situation that's cloaked with secrets? So secrets begin to come out during this particular cycle for ourselves before the big Aquarius full moon next week. So it's one step at a time. I think of astrology as this beautiful narrative that it gives us an opening act with the new moon, and at the second act, which is the quarter cycle, which is what we're under right now, we're having to work the plot of our lives. And this plot is saying, let there be light to the secrets around in your own life. Last week was a very difficult week when Pluto was squaring the North Node and the South Node, and we were feeling we're on this, grand square merry-go-round and trying to get off. There's a lot of stress, but today's energy is about letting the light in. The other thing that's really interesting is this 2 degrees of Scorpio. Something unbelievable is also percolating, right? Unbelievable. Because there's what we would call a yod that's happening in the sky. We have Venus at the apex. Venus right now, retrograde, is in conjuncting Pluto, the great power, manipulation, and control freak. And it's in conjuncting Neptune, which is fantasy. I can't believe the government would do that to us. Oh, by the way, I can't even believe that we have off-planet beings walking amongst us. This is unbelievable stuff in some people's minds, and certainly in my experience as well. It seems very unbelievable talking about UFOs and the U.S. Congress and Washington, D.C. Is this like a bad movie or something? Well, it's an inconjunct. It's a yod that's forcing us to see the truth. Chiron retrograde is also approaching Eris. Eris, confusion, chaos, and the North Node. And of course, the litmus test is Pluto is squaring the two nodes. Pluto is right there in orb, pushing against the North Node, letting us know that the past has to come up to be healed. So a lot is going on. The 2 degrees of Scorpio is called the village degree. That's our quarter cycle. Let me share this with you. 2 degrees equals a house raising party in a small village, enlists the neighbor's cooperation. So somewhere in your life, my dear friends, this quarter cycle that's in effect until next week, it's going on all this week, is asking us to cooperate with our neighbors and our friends and our tribe and our professional helpers in the world. We can't do things alone. So you may find yourself needing and wanting to enlist the cooperation of others to accomplish a goal. So be that as it may, that's what's going on for us this week, the first quarter square. And remember what happened the first 2 weeks of February when we were looking up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a weird balloon or something, a drone, or it's what is that thing going across North America? A couple of those things. We really never got a great answer. They were unidentified. They presumed it might be a corporate balloon flying across the continent. But at that time, we had a lot of Venus energy and a lot of Aquarius energy. And there's a corresponding astrology to next week because the full moon, my friends, is in Aquarius. Remember the adage, where you find Aquarius, you find different, weird, and literally off planet. All right, so there you have it. Enjoy the unusual nature of this week, but stick to your guns and allow the light to shine on secrets in your life, because that's the calling card of this square in Scorpio. All right. Hello, Michael. Haven't seen you for a while. Great to see you. Hi, Summer. Your birthday. Well, Summer will do something better for you. Okay. Tell all your friends. If you come and see me on Wednesdays at Cosmic Connections, I send you a birthday chart. So I'll send you a birthday chart, Summer. I can't promise a reading because that's all very random, right? It's all random. Okay. Hi, Rose. Hi, Leslie. Thank you for sharing. Sharing is caring. Hello, Cheryl, Jennifer, Kayla, and Dawn, and all these wonderful, beautiful friends who are sharing. Sharing is great because you have your name put into a little basket, which is next to me. And let's just do that right now. And so when you share, your name goes in a basket, and then you receive a prize. And the prize is the Lunar Lights Club. And I have that for everybody at all times. So the winner tonight is going to be Devin L. Barico. Devin L. Barico. Devin L. Barico. Woo-hoo. Hello. Congratulations, Devin. We go way back, don't we? My other lifetime as a professor. Yeah. I was a professor once upon a time. Now I just teach you guys astrology and other things. Let's go through the next part. We're going to talk about where this quarter cycle is empowering you and inspiring you to shine a light somewhere in your life. Okay, so if we have Aries people or Aries rising people, this quarter cycle, this week's energy is asking you to shine a light on your relationships. All right. If you are a Taurus, it is asking you to get your work done in a new way and to be very mindful of the way that you're categorizing your health as well. For Gemini, this particular energy is helping you take a look at your mind and the way you're talking to yourself, the way you're organizing your schedule. For Cancer or Cancer rising, this is all about your fun and your enjoyment and trying to have more pleasure in your life this week and shining a light on what gives you joy. If you are Leo or Leo rising, this particular configuration is asking you to take a look at your family, your home, what really means most for you in your place of rest and relaxation. For Virgo or Virgo rising, please tune down the criticism, especially the criticism of yourself. This showing the light of the way your mind works and trying to control your mind in a new way. Everything starts with the mind. For Libra or Libra rising, this configuration this week is asking you to take a look at how wonderful you are. Really, really, really embrace your self-worth and embrace a new way of creating more income or more abundance in your life. For Scorpio or Scorpio rising, this energy is asking you just to step into your own authority and to be fearless and to be authentic and to be charismatic. And they don't like it, so what? It's your time to shine, Scorpio. For Sagittarius, this week's energy is asking you to spend more time in relaxation and retreat, perhaps tweaking your psychic intuition or doing some dream work. For Capricorn or Capricorn rising, this week's energy is asking you to shine a light on your friendship circle. Who are the people you want to invest your time and your treasure with? Who are the people that you want to invest your time or treasure with? And our Aquarius people, this energy is asking you to take a look at your leadership skills outside of your home or your family and be out there in the world and carry the leadership insignia. For Pisces or Pisces rising, this particular energy is asking you to expand your knowledge base and to have courage and to shine a light on how well educated or how wise you are. It's not always education with degrees. It's trusting your gut, Pisces. All right, there we have it. We have our winners, and now we're going to shift gears into the more psychic realm and how this works, friends. If you're new to this, simply say you would like to get a reading, and then I'll pick you with my thumb, closing my eyes, and I'm just going to open up to spirit to provide some spiritual guidance. We all can do this. I've just been very lucky to have been trained down at Lilydale a lot, and also at the Fellowships of the Spirit a lot. And by the way, I'm doing some great classes at fellowships at the end of August, a dream class in astrology, and also a class on Saturn and Pisces and what that means for all of us. Welcome to everybody. Hi, Devin. Congratulations. All right. So I'm going to do our spiritual work. Dear God, please allow me to serve. Please allow my words be filled with love and light, truth, inspiration, and healing. As we align ourselves with the Holy Spirit, amen. Okay. Rhonda, my finger came to you. Would you like a reading? Rhonda Burns. Rhonda Burns. I'm into that, John. Great to see you. Hi, Christy. Rhonda, you still with us in the room? Just say yes. Sure. Rhonda, as I am picking up your energy, I almost like changed the way I'm talking, very particular and almost staccato. It feels like this has been 2 weeks of you doing a list, checking it twice, and checking off your to-dos with ferocious economy of time and a great sense of accomplishment. And now it's like, I've done all that. I need to rest. I feel like you've been running a marathon, a psychological, emotional marathon in the past 2 weeks. And it's almost like, I don't know if you have someone who works on your feet. I'm getting the word reflexology with you because it feels like your feet are hurting because you've been on this, maybe physically also working out as well. But either way, I want you to coddle your feet, maybe soak in a big Epsom salts or something along these lines. So I'm picking up the feet, and that's often a symbol of also your intuition being activated very strongly. As I'm also tuning into your energy, I'm getting a man who liked to smoke. Okay, he's in spirit, and he would smoke kind of nonstop. But they're long, tapered. I don't think they're cigars. I think they're cigarettes, but they're very long. And I think smoking added to his demise, but he didn't die of lung cancer. I think it was a lot of congestion here with the heart and so forth. Congestive heart failure is what I'm picking up. There was something with the heart. But as he's coming in to greet you, and he wants you to remind you of not being, the word he's using is so hard on yourself. And he's saying, my gosh, you've gotten through so many obstacles in your life, and you keep on doing it with a smile on your face. And he's saying he could not do that. He was very, at the end, he's showing me like 5-6 years of his life. It feels like a father energy, by the way. He was very self-critical and critical of people around him. He didn't want to be that way, but he was just always in his grumpy mindset. And he's so admiring of you, of being cheerful in the spate of responsibilities that are on your shoulders. And he's giving you a lot of love and a lot of appreciation, Rhonda. And so that's what I want to give to you tonight, and with God's blessings. All right. Okay. Whoops. Why is that doing that? Okay. And then my finger is going to Rose Chase. Rosie, I'd like to come to you. As I'm tuning into your energy, Rose, I'm feeling this, it's kind of like a peaceful energy. It's almost as if I feel like you may have been working diligently on changing up your habits so you have a little bit more time for yourself, a little bit more peaceful time, a little bit more meditation time, prayer time. And I don't know if you garden, but I'm feeling that you're outside and tending to roses. Okay, your name is Rose, but I'm seeing like a vista and some beautiful natural scenes here with you, Rose. And you're finding this inner center. I'd like to call it finding your inner North Star, that you almost lost your way. Or I'm being given 3. So I think 3 years ago was COVID, right? When it began, there was a little loss of hope, a little loss of, and some mixture of anger and some disdain for the way the world was reacting to everything. And you felt like a little isolated, not just isolated like we all were inside the house, but isolated mentally or socially with some of the ideas. And I want to say Spirit is applauding you for being a free thinker and standing by your sovereignty. That's the word that's coming to mind. But you've come a long way from there, and you're getting a lot of more peacefulness and a lot more, I guess, nearer and dearer to the God of your understanding. And that's very, very wonderful. I'm getting the word Stella or Estelle around you. It sounds like that. Sometimes I'm not really good with the actual names, but I'm getting the word Stella. I don't think it's Stella Niagara. There's a place called Stella Niagara. Maybe it's Stella Niagara. But I'm giving you this name, this vibration, as a person. It's either in spirit or maybe it's literally Stella Niagara as a place of inspiration for you. Do you know a Stella in spirit? Okay, you've been doing a lot of gardening, says Rose. Do you know a Stella in spirit? Stella is a star. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool, Sonny. Or Stella means star. Well, I'm giving this to you, Rose. Maybe look to the stars. Maybe you're studying astrology. We're going to leave that with you. But before I do, there's also someone with a T sounding name, and I believe it's Timothy, who wants to say hello to you also on the other side of life. He was younger when he passed. He's not saying he was not tiny, though, but his name is Tim or Timothy. He's coming in and giving you a big hug. So I'll leave that with your energy, Rose. All right. So, dear friends, it's Stasha. Okay, I have to follow up with that, Rose. Was Sasha a close person to you, a grandmother? Rosie? Rose Chase? Because that was the John is her name. Oh, it's frustrating because we can't have that back and forth. But no, I was with you, Stella, Stash, and also Timothy with you. I was talking a lot in the past half an hour, and I want to wish you all a wonderful week, friends. Shine a light where the darkness is, and be resilient and be strong in your knowingness, because that's what Scorpio wants us to be, and not to be afraid. Remember, Scorpio is co-ruled by Mars, so we're all little spiritual warriors this week until we embrace the fullness of the full moon next week in the weird, wonderful sign of Aquarius, which of course is the world and all of us. Power to the people. Many blessings to you. Don't forget the Venus Star Point offered by the Cosmic Intelligence Agency on the 6th of August. And come and join me tomorrow night. If you've never done a Zoom class with me, it's a lot of fun. Details are on my website. Many blessings, many blessings. Bye-bye.